is an agreement. There is an agreement or a thinking that we should all together fight corruption.
He commends local government leaders for taking the anti-corruption message to communities.
Because corruption has been a cancer to this, eating up this country. Right from the local councils, even the local council system, local chairman, LC1, people were fighting for local council 1, fighting for the stamp, that everybody was paying for the stamp, but it is also now coming down.
Inside Parliament, committees are also examining government performance, not simply to punish, but to improve service delivery.
But also see what other institutions have been lacking that the government was not giving them, so they can give them in order for Ugandans to have their services.
The campaign has extended to the grassroots through barazas focusing on security, household incomes, and development.
If we can mobilize our people about those 3 issues, security, peace and security, household income security, and fighting corruption, that one we shall have a beautiful country added on the power of Africa.
It is within the same period that government has moved to phase out all the taxes, citing road safety, discipline, and pollution.
When you see people talking, we see Rwanda, wait yesterday, they are now better. It's because they have harsh punishments. They control discipline. If you see how many people we lose every day in motor accidents, it's because of all the junks, all the taxes, that we don't have a system. Anybody can pull a junk and put on the road and start working. This can't be a system of a country.
This coming about a month since National Cleaning Days were introduced. These were meant to mobilize communities across Uganda to clean towns, villages, and public spaces. Rwashande says the campaign must become a sustained culture.
People may not be happy, may not want to clean, but we shall clean, and put in some simple punishments, simple enforcing discipline for cleaning until they will see that really it was for our own lives.
But beneath interventions lies another growing challenge: land. Population growth, limited land, and corruption are fueling disputes. Rwashande calls for action against organized land grabbing.
For example, the land office in Masaka, the land office in Katikamu, the land office in Mubende or Mitiana, these areas, people are crying. We need to visit these areas and help the people there. And we see how do we live in harmony in the small parts of land.
From fighting corruption to promoting cleanliness, transport, and household incomes, the new government is defining its priorities. The next assessment is turning the first 100 days of action into 5 years of measurable service delivery. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, commonly known as COSASE, has resummoned the top management officials of the Uganda Airlines to appear before the committee to respond to audit findings for the financial year that ended the 30th of June 2025. Uganda Airlines top management officials snubbed the committee interface without communication to the committee chairperson or tend a written explanation about their absence.
Uganda Airline had snubbed today's invitation to appear before the Committee on Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to respond to audit findings for the financial year ended 30th June 2025.
This committee.
The Auditor General's report noted concerns of increased debts in the airline, where the Auditor General observed a $1.7 million that was attracted as penalties on aviation fuel.
No document, no justification, no proof, and these are observations by the Auditor General.
The report also indicates poor financial performance to a tune of 1.9 trillion government investments to revamp the airline and streamline its operations.
Meaning the government injected 1.984 trillion, but only 200 million is recognized. Meaning it's a critical area for us as a committee to investigate.
Their failure to appear before the committee raised concerns before the committee members.
The chairman, this entity has been a problem on the committee. Every time when we invite the entity, through you and your former colleagues, the entity creates those avenues. They are not here.
The purpose of them not turning up, it's two-way. Either they intended because they had no information to prove to us.
So it is critical to let them know that we are not harassing them, but we want to make their business run well.
The committee has now summoned the current Chief Executive Officer of the airline, the Chief Accounting Officer, Manager Corporate Affairs to assist the committee on the audit findings.
We want to have the two Chief Executive Officers, the current and the former Chief Executive Officer. And specifically, we want, and ours is to enforce the attendance, to assist the committee in interrogating the observations by the Auditor General. So they should bring any document within their reach.
The Speaker of Parliament last week informed the House how every entity is to attend to committees and provide answers to audit findings.
I would like to remind all accounting officers that it's their constitutional obligation to be accountable to the citizens of this country through Parliament, where they are represented.
The committee has scheduled Thursday this week for further engagements with Uganda Airline top management officials. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Here, Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authority, that is COSASE, and what they had. Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Statutory Authority State Enterprises has cross-examined officials from the Uganda Human Rights Commission over case management, bypassing financial controls and expenditure at the Commission. The committee chaired by Muwadanku Nyingi discovered paying funds of Commission activities to personal accounts and how the Director of Companies Investigations and Legal Services, Pauline Nansamba, dismissed some cases without the consent of the Commission.
Officials from the Uganda Human Rights Commission have appeared before the Parliamentary Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises to respond to audit findings for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. The audit report pinned Uganda Human Rights Commission of mismanagement. The management kept on paying activity funds to personal accounts contrary to the Public Finance Management Act.
But you concede that money was paid on your account?
In the office of the chairperson for activities of the office of the chairperson, and that information is on the statement.
The same report indicates how Uganda Human Rights Commission has a stakeholders fund which allocates 1.2 million shillings sitting allowance to each commissioner and 5 million shillings to the chairperson. This raised concerns in the committee, where members questioned the commissioners of inconsistencies in the figures.
That commissioners are given fuel of 800,000 per month. That is less than 30,000 per day. And we are expected to work every day. And given the capacity of the vehicles that we are given by the Commission, they consume 50,000 per day. So the approved fuel is less than 30,000. So we decided to 30,000 to and fro. So we decided that when we sit, we can get the allowance so that we put more fuel to help us do the commission work.
The committee discovered how in the commission, the director complaints, investigations and legal services dismissed some cases without consent from the commission. This raised concerns in the committee, questioning Pauline Nansamba on who authorized her.
Considered, I have said I take responsibility for the decision to close every case which was closed ever since I took oath as a chairperson.
Leave alone the closure. Are you also taking responsibility of any wrong procedure used?
I do take that responsibility, Mr. Chairman.
Issues concerning procurement were also raised, where the Commission pinned some of its commissioners of acquiring items meant for the Commission and using them at personal level.
People always come back to claim that they may be tarnished my name. If you are stating on somebody who has that generator, mention the name so that we can know.
Tomorrow, this generator should be taken away from my home residence. Yeah. Latest tomorrow, because it involves some disconnection. Yeah.
The committee presented some members of the Commission to CID for investigations in reference to transactions made on personal accounts.
I want to request that Ms. Ndori Nabate and Ms. Pauline Nansamba goes to our CID and make a statement in reference to the transaction and the money received on behalf of the chairperson.
Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
UBC News tonight. Businessman Amos Nzei and the National Social Security Fund have agreed to amicably settle the 18-year-old land dispute in Temangalo, that is Wakiso district. The two have signed terms of settlement for the land swap, waiting for the NSSF board to pronounce itself. Among the terms of reference include that Nzei will transfer the titles for the 10 acres as requested by the NSSF and pay off the remaining 45 acres as per the market value. As Daniel Mugoya reports, the two parties agreed after they appeared before the Committee on Commissioned Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, chaired by Mwada Nkunyingi. Still Kosase.
I cannot even be partners with international reputable bodies. But because of that, I had to come and clear my name.
For 18 years, the Temangalo land scandal has been overwhelmingly identified with the city tycoon Amos Nzei, with no hopes of coming to an end.
You choose whatever you want, I will do it, but I want to clear my name. Temangalo has been on me for many years. And it's not worth it. Even if they said they wanted it for free, I would have given it.
The wrangles originate from the fact that the National Social Security Fund purchased 463.87 acres of land from Amos Nzei in 2008, including Plot 12, which accommodates the vendor's home and farm. Efforts by the NSSF to claim the land in whole has since hit a dead end, despite several legal redresses. The two parties have both appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Commissions, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, which is scrutinizing the matter, having been part of the audited queries in the Auditor General's report for financial year 2024-2025.
12 is part of the sale agreement.
No, it was not. It was not. If you look at the memorandum of understanding,
it
was not.
We have two documents. We have a sale agreement, we have an MOU. But in the sale agreement, there is Plot 12.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Just proceed.
Sale agreement, there is no protocol.
It is there. It is there.
But then reversed by the tribunal and also MOU.
Despite the advanced investigations pinning businessman Amos Nzei on continuous settlement on the land that he sold off to NSSF, the two parties have agreed to let the matter rest.
Dr. Nzei will transfer the 10 acres of land to the fund. The 45-acre balance we've agreed that he will pay for them using the market rates as determined by both the chief government valuer and private valuation.
I'm offering the fund what they have requested me to offer. They said the 10 acres, we liked it, give it to us. I've agreed that I will sign, I will transfer the 10 acres to the fund.
Now the remaining
Then
40...
the 45, I said, value it at current price. I'm not saying that I return your money, no. Current price, you get a government valuer, you get even another independent, I also have mine. Then we will meet at a figure which I will pay.
By the look of things, NSSF will be offloading an elephant off its shoulders. Kosase, chaired by Chadondo East MP Mwadanku Nyinji, agreed with the status quo, but with aching questions.
But you have accepted that you are ready to pay for 45. Now, who owns the 45?
The question here is one. Did you sell the land? If you sold the land, what prevented you to hand over that land to NSSF for occupancy in that period of almost 18 years?
So there's a point where you make a business decision. It is in the interest of the fund that we lay this matter down. Then we continue with our development.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Audios and videos allegedly showing Dr. Kizza Besigye and Joel Wakaima discussing plans to overthrow government and attack the president have been presented before the High Court Criminal Division. The recordings were allegedly captured using digital devices including a watch, power bank, digital charger, and hard drive.
In the absence of Dr. Kizza Besigye, trial judge Emmanuel Baguma is presiding over a case in which Haji Obed Lutale and Captain Ola Oya are facing charges of treason and misprision of treason. Prosecution witness number 1, American investigator Andrew Wilson Orlando, continued his testimony explaining how various digital devices were allegedly used to record communications and videos involving Dr. Besigye and Joel Wakaima.
I had to put everything together into one long video for it, 1, to make sense, and 2, so I could send it back.
Among the devices presented in court were a digital watch, audio recording equipment, a power bank, digital charger, and a hard drive.
A hard drive, which I provided. I needed to put together all the separate video clips because the camera is only recording 10-minute segments. 10 minutes, the audio maybe an hour segments.
Wilson Orlando told court that he and another individual identified as Moses allegedly used the devices to record meetings involving Dr. Besigye and Joel Wakaima in Geneva, Switzerland, Greece, Nairobi, Kenya, and Uganda.
Last communications, I spoke with him. He seems apologetic and asked me to connect him with the investor. As from my conversation with him, he was considering standing witness.
The gadgets were presented before court for identification and were subsequently tendered in court. Court also watched and listened to some of the videos and audio recordings allegedly captured using the digital devices. These videos showed Besigye and Joel Wakaima discussing with witness Andrew Wilson Orlando. After hearing the submissions from both sides, Justice Emmanuel Baguma adjourned the case to tomorrow, 25th August 2026, when the hearing will resume. The accused Haji Obed Lutale and Captain Ola Oya were further remanded to Luzira Government Prison.
Government's crackdown on taxis operating in dangerous mechanical condition has begun today across the Greater Kampala metropolitan area. The operation follows a directive by Works and Transport Minister Fred Byamukama, who gave taxi operators until today to remove unsafe vehicles from the road. Taxis considered to be in poor mechanical conditions, commonly known as DMCs, are being targeted as the government steps up enforcement of road safety standards.
Last week, the government warned taxi owners whose vehicles were in dangerous mechanical conditions and failed to meet traffic regulations against putting them back on the road. The warning was reiterated by Works and Transport Minister Fred Lukomwa, who set Monday this week as the start of the government's 100-day crackdown.
In Greater Kampala, the surrounding areas, for the first phase, we have already had a meeting with Uganda Police. We have agreed with effect from Monday. With effect from Monday, all of these Ganya taxis should not be seen around Kampala.
By Monday morning, it appeared that taxi drivers and owners whose vehicles were in poor mechanical condition had largely complied with the government's warning and the directive to remove vehicles that do not meet the required safety standards from the road. None of the vehicles targeted by the crackdown were seen operating on the roads. The crackdown has also affected commuters traveling from their homes to work.
Ensonga y'okuyimiriza taxi ene tuyisiza bubi bino by'okugala taxi mai taxi embo nkadde baziyimirize fine kirungi naye ate nga government olina okubeera ne strategy bw'oyimiriza taxi enkadde gw'oleese ki kubanga tukuva ku makya tuyimiridde wano tuwale kitambula.
12 zinsanze nga ntuuka wano zizino zigenda kuwera ssaawa 3 nga nyimiridde wano naye nga taxi etuukawo kati etandise okusaba mu kibuga omutwalo bakugamba taxi z'abanaku baazikobye balesewo taxi z'abagagga ate ffe tuli banaku tuli abantu ba wansi.
Along different routes, on various roads, the operations seemed intensified amid complaints.
Badusose ne batugambako nti bannanga abatakisi embeera egenda okubeerawo bweti ne bweti n'abakaga nabo ne babeerako ne bakimanyi naye abasajja batusuddemu ekintu nga tetulina kye tumanyi wadde n'ekimu.
Ebbanga lya myezi 2 ekitegeera abantu basobole okubanga basobola okukola ebintu byabwe nga biri bulungi bamanye nti tekibaguddeeko.
In some areas, passengers were left stranded, with many having no option but to resort to motorcycles to reach their destinations.
Ebya taxi yadde bitukozesa ensobi tebalina indicator taxi mpundu tebalina mataala batukozesa ensobi basooke babawumuze fenga baboda naffe tukolekoleko.
Naye simanyi ababoda bagamba ebidduka ebikadde okubigoba nga bo tebakifaako naye nga nze owa boda siyinza kusanyuka kuba nange ndi mugoba wa kidduka. Leero bayinza okugamba bagoba taxi enkadde kyali bagamba tugoba wa boda talina permit.
Along Salama and Chibuye, taxis remained parked as people walked on foot to places of work. However, many owners chose to park their vehicles at home, while others were seen at garages, with the rest remaining in different taxi parks.
Nteekateeka eno emmotoka zaffe enkadde kati nga nze eyange leero esigadde mu parking abantu bali kukuba babonabonera ku kkubo tetulina busobozi bugenda kusooka kukola mmotoka zaffe kudda ku yaliyongeddeyoko ne twongerayoko ebbanga ne tusooka tweteekateeka obulungi.
Kati mukama wange mwekanyiriradde mu parking ansaba ssente ez'olwaleero abatabimanyi naye kati gavumenti etuyambe esooke tuweyo ebbanga ettono tutereeze mmotoka zaffe.
In both the old and the new taxi parks, the situation was tense, with uncertainty among drivers and operators for many people. Police warn that the operations and enforcement will continue.
Do not wait for police to find the defect. Inspect and maintain your vehicle before putting it on the road. The responsibility for putting a roadworthy vehicle on the road begins with the owner and then the operator.
This is not the first time the government has issued warnings over traffic violations, but this latest crackdown could signal a significant shift in how traffic regulations and enforcement are handled. Cayenne Faith and Ivan Juko reporting for UBC in Kampala.
The Forum for Democratic Change is demanding an independent audit of government ministries and agencies responsible for roads and transport before the enforcement of the operation on the taxis. According to the opposition party, says that while road safety is important, government must first fix the dangerous state of the roads, corruption, and provide alternative means of transport for people who depend on the affected vehicles.
When you look at the tires, really people are moving by mass of God.
Last week, the Minister of Works and Transport, Fred Byamukama, ordered the removal of vehicles in dangerous mechanical conditions off the roads, giving operators a 100-day ultimatum to phase them out. The directive is part of the government's efforts to address the growing number of road accidents and deaths linked to vehicles in dangerous mechanical conditions. In response to the directive, the Forum for Democratic Change Party says the enforcement must go beyond targeting vehicle owners, questioning whether government has addressed the wider factors contributing to vehicle breakdown.
Chengeranatet road, that road is very bad. You cannot put a new taxi on that road and survive beyond 6 months. That road there, it is a road for the chigeges. We need to break the racket of corruption.
The opposition says thousands of drivers, conductors, vehicle owners and other people depend on public transport for their livelihoods, warning that withdrawing a larger number of vehicles without alternatives could disrupt transport and increase the cost of movement.
Removing a number of taxis from the roads without putting any alternative, an adequate alternative transport system in place will create scarcity, number one. And this scarcity will inevitably increase transport costs for the ordinary people who commute from one place to another.
FDC Deputy President for Northern Uganda and Shadow Minister for Security, Hassan Kabs Fangaru, are demanding for an independent audit of ministries and agencies involved in road operations.
We need an independent audit. Let there be room for people who are not known. Companies which are not very big, but people with ability, just to say, you started auditing, you know auditing, you can do it, go and audit this thing. People without address, people who cannot be bribed, because if you don't know them.
FDC maintains support to remove dangerous vehicles from the roads, but insists that road safety must be addressed alongside road maintenance, corruption, and the availability of affordable alternative transport.
If we are to solve this problem of shoddy work, delayed work due to corruption, we must build the oversight system. We expected this problem of all the transport means on the road, vehicles in dangerous mechanical conditions, uncomfortable vehicles, unsafe vehicles, to be resolved automatically using the market forces of supply and demand.
Charity Marion Imnat and Sana Net reporting for UBC.
Investigations into the murder of 2 children in Bunga by their biological mother are ongoing. Police say that the mother is responding to treatment after surviving an attempted suicide. A statement obtained from her suggests that she carried out the attack following a series of domestic violence. A statement from the husband has also been recorded, and the 2 deceased children's bodies were handed over to the family for burial.
Police have recorded a statement from Namayo Dorothy, aged 43, in connection with the murder of 2 of her children in Ikalungu, Bonga, Kampala. On 20th August, Dorothy allegedly caused death of her 2 children and injured 3 others who were hospitalized. Police say Dorothy was found injured at the scene after an unsuccessful attempt to take her own life and was taken to hospital for treatment.
And is reported to be in a stable and improving condition.
Dorothy has informed the police that her heinous act was triggered by a series of domestic violence incidents
between herself and her husband.
Police have obtained CCTV footage and other exhibits to support the ongoing investigations.
We recorded statements from neighbors and first responders who were at the scene following the incident.
At the time of the incident, the father to the children was not home.
2 of the victims, a 13-year-old and 10-year-old, were discharged from Mulago Hospital. Another victim remains admitted at Mulago Hospital and is receiving treatment.
Now, 2 bodies of the deceased children, aged 10 and 14, were handed over to their father for burial, and they were laid to rest at the Kololo Muslim Cemetery. Now, police was able to obtain a statement from the father who confirmed a history of domestic violence. The prime suspect in this case, who is the mother of the children, is responding positively to treatment, and she will be arraigned before the courts of law to answer for charges.
That is after she stabilizes.
The police file lists murder, attempted murder, and arson among the offences under investigation. On the other hand, Chira Road police are investigating the murder of Namuwulya Jovia, aged 22, a waitress and a resident of Bukoto. Jovia was killed on 20th August 2026 at her rental where she had spent 7 months.
After about 3 months, Jovia received a female visitor identified as Turinda Mukama Rose, who later began staying with her in the same room. On the 20th of August 2026, the caretaker of the houses received a call from relatives of the deceased inquiring about Jovia, as she was reportedly not responding to their calls.
Police say upon reaching the rental room, it was locked. The caretaker and the sister to Jovia saw blood stain in the room through the window.
They subsequently accessed the room and found Jovia lying in a pool of blood. However, her friend Turinda Mukama Rose was nowhere to be found and is currently being sought in connection with the incident.
While the police is hunting for Rose to aid the ongoing investigation regarding the murder of Jovia, we have obtained information which is yet unverified that Rose is currently out of the country. As and when we get any information, we shall keep you posted via our UBC platforms and also our social media handles.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a break. On return, we have more.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugamotia. Oina kachi. Ha. Kagulinzi tekako. Teka kagulinzi. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Hemutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial *165*5# to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
In Uganda, mornings don't begin with sunrise. They begin with courage. One man, one factory that has refused to stay silent. With one spark of courage, a chain of prosperity begins. When one Ugandan stands up, the nation moves. Pearl Bank, grow, prosper.
Mami!
Wanje sabo.
Ugambotia. Wina kachi. Ha. Kagulinzi tekako. Teka kulinzi. I want everything, eh?
Okay.
Yes. So, when I pay the time, this will increase my loan limit. Hey, Mutieni Momo. Madam, remove the food. Put more meat. Add the meat. Yes. Hey. Now, these are the fruits of paying your loan is in time.
That's right. Every time you repay your Momo loan on time, your loan limit can increase, giving you access to more money when you need it most. Dial star 165*5 hash to borrow, pay back, and grow your limit with Momo loans.
You have juice?
Yes.
Juice in me.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. More than 21,000 incidents have been handled on the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway since it became operational in 2021, including 589 accidents, 20 of them fatal. Expressway manager Ivan Katamba attributed the accidents mainly to excessive speeding, unsafe driving, driving under the influence of alcohol, and vehicles that are in poor mechanical condition.
Speaking during a media engagement and tour of the expressway, Ivan Katamba highlighted the systems used to manage traffic, collect tolls, monitor the road and respond to emergencies.
The government of Uganda and the people of Uganda have really benefited from this operation and I hope it will be an example for other projects going forward to see that such projects can really work.
More than 350 staff work on the expressway daily, handling maintenance, traffic management, security, toll collection, and emergency response. Maintenance is carried out around the clock, covering road repairs, drainage bridges, vegetation, road markings, lighting, and electrical systems.
We've collected over 192 billion shillings for the government of Uganda, and this has been deposited on the Ministry of Works and Government of Uganda's control account. All monies are deposited there. The operator doesn't hold any of that money. Okay. With regards to the contract, we have a monthly performance-based maintenance fee that is lump sum of 922 million per month. However, that amount of money is subject to deductions.
To improve pedestrian safety, about 13.8 kilometers of damaged perimeter fencing has also been replaced, restricting access to the expressway.
Collection satisfactions from the MPs that were here before, well, we stand by our data, and we made a request to have a reconciliation with their team so that we can sit down one-on-one with the data that was collected and ascertain with the facts and proper interpretation of the data in order to capture this information. So we remain available to meet with them and carry on this action.
Power outages have occasionally affected road lighting, but backup measures have been strengthened with adequate fuel supplies maintained for generators.
We're going to put up bigger reserves, fuel reserves, in order to ensure that when power goes off, we have the backup generators running all the time, and we don't experience this anymore. With regards to crashes, introducing humps, unfortunately on an expressway we can't have the normal humps we have on the roads. There are a different kind of thermoplastic, they are called thermoplastic, not hubs, but thermoplastic paint that is thick, that gives you that ruggedness when you're driving over. It can give you an alert.
Motorists are also being encouraged to use electronic toll payment options to reduce delays at toll gates and make payments more convenient. For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
The acting hospital director, Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital, Dr. Deus Tresije, has cautioned medical interns against extortion and urged them to uphold the integrity of the hospital. The remarks were made during an orientation meeting for medical interns at the hospital.
Recently, the government decided to facilitate medical interns with a gross monthly allowance of 1,268,000 Ugandan shillings, translating to approximately 1 million shillings in net pay after taxes.
We want to report that we are so glad and appreciative to the government for finally accepting to continue facilitating these medical interns for their welfare and their allowances. We want to request the government that please continue and make sure that we have a better policy put in place. Let us engage all the stakeholders.
In light of this, Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital has today oriented more than 96 medical interns who have reported to the facility. During the orientation, Dr. Deus Tresije welcomed the interns and urged them to maintain discipline and professionalism while carrying out their duties.
We found you are not cooperative. You disrespect your colleagues, disrespect the juniors, disrespect seniors. We send you to a center where we think it can shape.
Now that you are on your duty stations, please work diligently, work with all the efforts, because we have had the public sympathy. When I was an intern doctor, you would work your heart out, because at the end of the day, we are saving lives and Ugandans depend on us.
He cautioned the interns against extorting money from patients, warning that anyone caught engaging in practice will face disciplinary action.
Go and enjoy, but tread carefully. So extortion, I repeat myself, extortion, there is no compromise. 2, don't make yourselves the spokespersons of this hospital.
Dr. Sebastian Mubangizi, the publicity secretary of the Uganda Medical Association, Ankole region, says medical interns should be treated fairly without discrimination based on their employment status.
This is someone who has studied his course for 4 years as a nurse, or 4 years as a pharmacist, or 5 years as a doctor, and he has graduated. Interestingly, the public needs to know that when you are studying these 5 years as a doctor, after 3rd year you are always doing different internships, what for us we call clinical placements.
The Uganda Medical Association says it will continue engaging the government on better facilitation, improved training facilities, non-discriminatory treatment of interns, and the development of a comprehensive internship policy.
I will request the government to increase the number of training facilities, but also recruit more specialists, recruit more consultants, such that they can help in training these medical interns while increasing each and every year.
Irene Faith Nantongo, Nelson Akaturira, UBC News.
Kasese district leaders have raised concern over the growing number of land disputes in the district, blaming the conflicts on double titling, land fraud, population pressure, and climate-related disasters such as floods and landslides. The leaders were speaking during the launch of the 10th Land Awareness Week in Kasese, an initiative that aimed at promoting responsible land governance, strengthening stakeholder collaboration, and raising awareness.
Land grabbing.
The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, in partnership with the Rwenzori Sub-Region local governments, Participatory Ecological Land Use Management, Pelam Uganda, and other civil society organizations, have launched the 10th Land Awareness Week in the Rwenzori Sub-Region. The campaign seeks to provide a platform for promoting responsible land governance, strengthening collaboration among stakeholders, and advancing awareness of land rights. Flagging off the activities in Kasese, the Kasese Resident District Commissioner, retired Lieutenant Joel Walusimbi, cited the increasing cases of land disputes in the district.
kitukoze olwaleero buli muntu bwe banagenda okutuuka mu disitulikiti ye kijja kuba kisobola okutuyamba okumanya n'abantu okutegeera kubanga waliwo abantu bosanga ng'ettaka limuliko ebyapa bibiri ekyo abantu balina okukitegeera abantu balina okumanya nti okufuna ettaka olina olisaba olina okuliprocesinga ate n'okugula empenda ne bano ne bakimanya.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Dr. Sokalanyi, in a statement delivered by the ministry's spokesperson Densobo, said the government has introduced several interventions to address land-related challenges in the country.
Requested the president, out of public outcry, that most of their land was not registered. And you know, when your land is not registered, you do not have the conclusive evidence of ownership that you can show anywhere around the world. So it was an instruction, a directive, to use the procedures as provided for under law to make sure that these institutions acquire legal documentation. We covered about 4,000, and I know the number has moved to 6,000.
Justice Lawrence Toyanzi of the Kasese High Court said more than 75% of the land in the region is government-owned, leaving limited land for the growing population.
Many cases, death, and what have we done? I can say it here. Majority of the cases are with war, reconciliation, ADR.
The Prime Minister of Obusinga Warenzururu, Kuleba Ntazawe, urged government to identify and register rightful landowners as they wolf curbing land disputes in the region.
So Karl Marx said, let us fight the rich. We have nothing to lose except our chains of poverty. And therefore, if we who have cannot join and fight for the poor will take over what we have.
Other participants at the launch had this to say.
The land reforms should take place to see how best we can see that everybody enjoys staying in his homeland.
Uganda plus all these partners who are gathered here remain committed to working alongside government, communities, the civil society and other stakeholders to ensure that the voices of the ordinary land users.
Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Nabugude, UBC News.
As Ugandan city dwellers grapple with the rising cost of garbage collection and poor waste management, the National Cleaning Days initiative is already gaining momentum. The campaign has inspired the entry of EcoServe, a new private company seeking to go beyond garbage collection to promote waste sorting and turning garbage into a source of income.
Is encouraging households and communities to rethink how they can handle garbage, separating materials that can be recycled and sold to recycling companies from organic waste that can be converted into manure or animal feed and equally sold for income.
We want now to learn how to sort garbage. The plastics, the paper-based, pamper, blah, 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 and then food waste or domestic waste of leaves and what, or the things that we clean from our homes. We want you to know that every time you burn waste, and especially plastics, you cause the danger to your health. We are seeing now in Mulago, the number of people who have lung problems have more than tripled. There are people actually who come and want that kind of waste, provided your waste is sorted. So you do not get metal, old computer, medicines, everything, you lump it together. We are going to start getting skin cancer because you will have spoiled the ozone layer up there because of the plastic fumes that go up in the air and kill our environment. So let us be responsible and together we can make Uganda better.
Right now we are in the final stages of mapping all the waste people, all the waste entrepreneurs in our areas, so that it is boomed up and everyone now knows who collects the recyclables in their area.
The 13 parishes which are within Nakawa West averagely generate 15 tons of waste on a daily. So in order for us to mitigate that, we have deployed 10 trucks, 20-ton trucks. For the residences, I can guarantee you that at least in a week, a vehicle will pass by your place. I want us to embrace the KCCA policy of bring to truck.
But we understand that there are places where that may not be possible. So we have people on the tracks. We request you to cooperate with those people so that when they come, you give them the waste and they take it. Put recyclable waste differently and biodegradable waste in a different bag. Then we will recharge according to how we find the size of the bag and the amount of waste that you have.
As the Rotary Club of Kulambe, we started this initiative in 2023. We've been working closely with the community members, doing quarterly cleanups.
Partners baffe batwegaseko leero okulaba nti tukwasaganya guno omulimu ogw'okwawula kasasiro. Mulimu ensonga nnyingi kye tugenda obbasomesa ne bana abazze kuva mu KCCA gye bagenda obbalaga engeri gye musobola okwawulamu kasasiro. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.
And for now, as far as garbage is concerned, collect it, sort it, and make money. Chris Buyondo, UBC.
Schools prepare for the final term of the year. Stanbic Bank Uganda is urging parents, guardians and schools to embrace digital banking to manage back-to-school financial demands conveniently and affordably. With the final academic term fast approaching, families are bracing for a range of financial obligations from school fees to other education-related expenses. Stanbic Bank says its digital platforms offer a faster, cheaper and more convenient way of handling these payments.
Tugonzezza nnyo enkola y'okusasula ebisale by'essomero twandiyise school fees. Teweetaaga kugenda mu banka ebiseera bino oba mu ttebe lyaffe lyonna okusasula school fees newankubadde oba oyagadde osobola okugenda naye kozesa emitimbagano gye tulina okusobola okusasula school fees ezo. Tulina ba agencies baffe mu bitundu ebyenjawulo bingi nnyo basobola okufuna school fees ezo n'olema kusimba mu kitundu kyo kyonna wooli gende wa agent yonna omuwe school fees osasulire omwana wo. Tulina abalina account naffe nga n'amasomero gali waffe tulina school pay osobola okusasulira ku school pay ninga okozesa Stanbic FlexiPay app oba okozesa USSD oba okozesa account yo yennyini ku either internet banking oba ku app n'ebirala bingi.
Or maybe you just want to send your children to a better school and you need additional financing. The Oli in Charge gives you that opportunity to take charge of how you're planning your future. And therefore, as you're building, as you're growing, this campaign gives you an opportunity to also protect what you're trying to build.
The world is going digital. And as a bank, we're also thinking about how we enable you to be digital today, but also in the future, to make life easy for you. And that is why we've enabled a number of capabilities on our digital channels to make it easy for you to do your banking as and when you require. It is available 24/7. The branches might be closed. Digital is never closed. It is available. Now you're able to manage your account as and when you require. You don't have to call that branch manager or maybe someone in a branch or maybe the voice branch. You're able to do all that on the digital channels.
So we've thought about our customers during this season, and we've come up with an attractive interest rate, which I believe is the best in the market, of 17% per annum. What that means is that our customers can be able to afford our loans, pay in a flexible repayment period, but also be able to take on higher loan amounts of up to 250 million for self-employed and 350 million for salaried, absolutely unsecured, with no need for collateral.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Alo.
Yesebo mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye ne nyumba za mwenungiko.
Kituufu. Oyagala yabisenge bimeka?
Nga 3.
Ebbeeyi bagigambye?
Bangambye 5.
Nedda ssebo eno zaali nnyamuuko.
Lwaki?
Anti langi gye tusiigisa ya mulembe. Kati ne valiyo y'ekitundu yalinnya.
Musiigisa ki?
Global Paints.
Mutya?
Ku siiringi tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Kusiiga gye musiiga. Ogwo omutindo okusasulira essente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Uganda, are you ready to take your business to the world? This September, the Gateway to International Markets opens in Istanbul, Turkey. From the 15th to the 19th of September 2026, join AFEX 2026 Africa Business Forum and Expo, bringing together Africa and global markets in one dynamic business platform. Meet international buyers, investors, manufacturers, distributors, traders, and business leaders alongside the Global Franchise and Distributorship Expo. Whether you are in textiles, agro-processing, tourism, logistics, ICT, manufacturing, education, mining, FMCG, healthcare, construction, or automotives, AFEX 2026 gives you the opportunity to connect, exhibit, invest, and expand. Ugandan exhibitors and business visitors, this is your opportunity to showcase your products, discover new markets, build international partnerships, and take your business beyond borders. And when you're ready to make the journey, travel with Gotave Tours and Travel, your trusted travel partner for AFEX 2026. Register today through a call or WhatsApp on 0782 556 078 or 0701 556 078. Visit Gotave Tours and Travel at Plot 3 Parliament Avenue, Rajak Chambers, Wing A, First Floor, Suite F1, 026. AFEX 2026 Istanbul, where Africa meets the world.
All of Africa, welcome everyone.
We now talk sport. Security forces from, that is the UPDF, Uganda Police, the Uganda Wildlife Authority and Uganda Prison Services have gathered at Laibi College in Gulu City for the official opening of the 18th Inter-Forces Games. The Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Chiriowa Chiwanuka, was the chief guest at the opening ceremony. He commended the forces for promoting unity and togetherness amongst themselves.
The 18th edition of the Inter-Forces Games kicked off with a march from Peche to Laibi College, with the UPDF band leading the parade. Later, senior officers, ministers, and dignitaries gathered at Laibi College grounds to witness the official opening of the Inter-Forces Games in Gulu City. The Inter-Forces Games bring together officers and personnel from different street agencies to compete in shooting range, sports, and foster inter-force cooperation. Commanders say the games are not just about competition, but strengthening the bond, discipline, and teamwork that is critical for joint operations.
This year we gather here under the theme, Building Synergy Through Sports. These games provide a vital platform to promote physical fitness, discipline, teamwork, leadership, and institutional pride among our personnel. For security and uniformed forces, physical fitness is not just a game requirement. It is an essential part of operational readiness and professional effectiveness.
There is no more tear gas. Even the budget for tear gas has reduced. Now that money is channeled somewhere to build a nation. You can see. That's why UPDF is doing construction. So when you do well in excel in voting as a country, our work becomes simple. As UPDF, as the security forces, our work becomes simplified. Now we focus on the primary role.
The Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs officially opened the 18th Inter-Force Games and Shooting Championship at Laibi College in Gulu City.
Like everyone has said, this goes beyond just sport. This reflects unity, discipline, teamwork, and professionalism. That is important for our security forces. This is about how all our security forces work together to further a common purpose. And that is what we are doing in these events. I wish to declare the 18th edition of the Inter-Forces Games and Shooting Competition 2026 open.
Hosted by the 4th Infantry Division in Gulu City, the competition is expected to run for 2 weeks. In the official opening football match, UPDF drew 1-1 with Uganda Wildlife Authority. Haruna Mtesasira, reporting for UBS News in Gulu City.
And the Inter-Forces Games bring us to the end of all we had for you at this point. Let's catch you at 10 p.m. with more news. My name is Micheal Lukomwa with Elizabeth Nakakon and the whole team. Bye-bye for now.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. The Uganda People's Defense Forces invites you to the second edition of the UPDF-CDF Inter-Forces Drill Competition. Join us on Tuesday, 25th August 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for an electrifying showcase of precision drill, synchronized formations, discipline, and military excellence. Under the theme Precision, Discipline, and Cohesion, Pillars of National Resilience and Transformation. Witness UPDF formations battle for the coveted Inter-Forces Drill Championship. Who will take the crown? Will it be the Land Forces, Air Force, Special Forces Command, Field Artillery, Motorized Infantry, Marines Brigade, Directorate of Women Affairs, Military Police, or one of the 1st to 5th Divisions? The event will be presided over by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. For more information, call 0392 947 455.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Every organization and individual has a unique story to tell. It includes how they started.
When I thought of retiring, the journey of truckers started.
This was the whole economy of Uganda from 1903 to 1953. And from 1953, other people came into Namunkeke, and then us now.
I came here in 1994.
How they are currently performing and where they are heading.
Our factory for the last 13 years employs over 300.
We present to you the masterminds behind some of the biggest projects in the country.
For the president, he was excited. When he saw this, he said, "Can it move?" He said he's going to do everything to support.
The Minister of Information then invited me to come and start the new vision.
I created a man-made lake
We have another medicine fight poverty, and that is the PDM now. All this that is happening in the country is enshrined in the subject called Musevenomics. It's the man who has been driving the economic policies which have shaped our direction up to now.
Tune into the Journey program on UBC TV to hear from CEOs, managers, entrepreneurs, diplomats, and many others as they share their inspiring stories and experiences, all aimed at inspiring Uganda.
Every Monday at 11 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 11 a.m.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Soberanga olunaku lubi so nze sitenze enkuba etandise okwetonyesa eringa lyagala nkune mawulire bika you
era okuva kasasiro lwe yagwa embeera si nnungi tetunnaba kudda ngulu.
I am a father of two, but my kids were at school and my wife had traveled abroad.
Why motoka bali batugamba amphibian bajja leeta bajja kasasiro yenna tusobola kubanga tujja atisika obuwanga.
So I'm in Chitezi and we are recollecting on the testimonies of the people who were there when this landfill was collapsing.
Era nze sitana kwagala kujja nnyo mu kitundu kino waliwo bwe nzija muno mu kitundu mayiti zange ziddayo bwe ntuuka ewaka nenzaamu enfuna ebirooto ebibi.
No, it was a negligence of the capital city authority because they did not manage the garbage properly. One, I think they were told that was 2013. NEMA told them the landside is full, whereby they should stop powering the garbages, but they did not listen. They continued.
Yeah, you know that incident. Basically, it took the heads. That is the unfortunate part of it, because I think it was basically a management and planning issue. Much of the liability went to the planners or the heads of the institution, and I think at a technical level they are managing that situation.
Family yange yali mu nyumba mali mukyala wange bayita Justin Mutes nembeamu ne mutabani wange w'emyaka 4 gwe bali bayita Agasha Innocent. Be bantu abali mu nyumba eyo ku makya benalekamu nga ngenda okukola ekire ku makya okwo kwennyini nga ngenda yo omwana yandemerako nangamba dadi tulina okugenda ffenna kati nze ku makya okwo omwana yakaba n'okukaba nga yagala kungoberera ne musibirayo mu mutima munugu gwakuka
singa nagenda naye
kati yali alina omuzengo y'omwana bw'agenda nga ngoberedde oluusi abulira eyo waggulu kane tumunoonya kati koolo nasibawo nenyongerawo ekinyolo neŋŋamba omukyala emugaba omwana oyo ayinza okukola ki ayinza okungoberera omukyala n'azuukuka naye n'ayongerako ekkufulu naye ate abaasembayo mwami Kasimu oyo neyiba waffe yejjukira yali alundirayo ente alinayo ente nnyingi eno wansi yennyini yaŋŋamba ate ye mu kuvaayo aleka batudde kabalaza.
Wano wetuli wano kisaaniko kino kyatwawula n'omukyala kuba lunaku lwali lwa mukaaga sigenda kulwerabira saawa emu saawe mutwali tuze ne mukyala nga tuze kukola omukyala nga neekulembedde nze ndi mabega muvaako kati kyenva nkutamamu bwe nti mbeeko waliwo ebintu bye nali neetegeeza bwe nti nkutama bwe nti ogenda osituka bwe nti nalaba kinyanga n'omukyala sikyamulabako.
So now kati oguddewo ekisumuzo kimenyese ofutuka otya okutoloka kati
ziguddewo gaddemu ekisumuzo kimenyese nsaba esala yange esembayo kuba baneiba bange baŋŋamba kasasiro wuuyo akomawo ate bw'akomawo biki naye ng'eri olwedde emmanju yakubye dda abantu emmanju bafudde baneiba bange ne mu mbirizi ne mu mbirizi.
Omukyala nze omukyala wange yali asobola okulabika bwe baali basima omukyala yalina ebbaketi mu ngalo ebbaketi eyo twagijjayo wetutuuka nga abana abasajja bamanyi okusima obulungi nnyo basima waliwo omwami baali bamuyita Mike ate n'akyusa n'ateekerawo omulala atamanyi bano abaali abasima nga babitegeera n'abajjawo.
So
era wano wennyini we tuyimiridde wano ng'asirise kwagirako abaami 3 ne kugirako n'ente 2 ne bayimirira wano abagirako ne batambula ne bakola ki ne badduka ne bagenda ne wano we bantu baffe ng'abasaanyizzaawo.
This is Magic 100 FM. Sports and music is our life.
And we've also been together with Assistant Superintendent of Police Mutera Asimwe, happening to be the Regional Community Liaison Officer of the Kampala Metropolitan Police North.
For us as investigators, ours is technical. Because somebody says, I had there a house.